Greetings, Glitter Gang, and happy Thursday. It's 9 o'clock on Thursday, August 25th. You're here for Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and today we are going to be crafting live from the Christmas in July album. Linked in the video description is the paper, the cardstock, all of that. It is a free tutorial. There is a YouTube playlist available on my YouTube channel that has the whole album series. So you can go ahead and check that out if you want to see how to make any of the stuff that's already in the book. Hey, what? Tiny Cat is up here staring at me. She's in goblin mode, so I don't know if we'll see her or not. She's just... Anyway, this afternoon we finished the 3 bumper pockets. So the 3 bumper pockets are done. That's these pockets with the tags that go down inside. We've got 3 of those. And then after that, we added a divided pocket to the other side of the file folder. So we're going to get that all lined up and make some inserts for it. I have a fun idea for an insert for that. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, how is everyone? I hope you're doing well and welcome to the show. Okay. All right, so let's see. What am I gonna do? Let's look at the patterned paper. So let's start in the front. So if we start on the back of the first page, maybe I should put pattern paper on these to give myself some direction. Let me pull those sheets. Maybe that is at least a place to start. Okay, so these are the sheets for that. So we've got sparkles, we've got snowflakes, we've got these are so bad. These are so bad. Let me let's pick the 3 we like the best and I'll reprint them, because this is, I told you all, you already know this, but my printer was messing up. So there was something wrong. The ink was clogged. That was its problem, so it wasn't printing properly. So let me just... What I'm going to do is I'm just going to print. It's only going to be 2 sheets. It's not going to be that hard. Or that hard. It was never going to be hard. It's not going to be that time consuming is what I mean to say. Goodness. All right. Digital paper. Paper phenomenon. Dreaming of Sugar Plums 8.5 by 11. Ooh, ready to print. I have ready to print sheets. Oh my goodness. That's going to make it go even faster. All right, let me just switch you to the PC desktop. And what I may do is, since we know that this entire collection got screwed up, I may just reprint the whole thing. And then we can just do that. So if I just press... If I just press print right now, it should populate all 9 of them into my printer. Yep, that's exactly what it did. So, okay, let's go to advanced settings, Super B high quality, which is a, as you guys know, I've explained in other videos, that's a preset I've created that prints these photos, these papers for me. No problem. Press print. All right. And you can hear the printer waking up. So let me switch it back to the craft desk. And what we can do, would you like to make a statement? Yeah? Yeah? Is that your statement officially? Tiny Cat's like, I don't know why I gotta be harassed. What? Okay. All right, Tiny. Yeah? Okay. Do you know you sound like you're being tortured? Did you know that, huh? You make us look like bad cat parents when you make sounds like that. Okay. I'm going to try and get her to hop up on the desk, but I don't think it's going to happen. So until she is attracted to what I'm doing, let's look at the faded versions of them and pick the 3. There's 4. We have to pick 4. All right. So we have 2 that say Merry Christmas. Okay. It'll be interesting to see these side by side with the reprints. All right. Oh yeah, Tiny Cat always has a lot to say, especially when I'm in my office, because she doesn't like me to be in my office. Or she's okay with me being in my office, but only if I'm like exclusively paying attention to her, not if I'm working. And if I'm working, every time I walk past her, she will cry just to be like, hey, I'm on the floor and you're not petting me. See? Because, yeah, she's sitting next to the printer because now she knows every time I come to swap the paper, she's going to get scritched. Yes. Yes. Yeah, you having a good time? She cried because I stopped petting her. She's so manipulative. Are you manipulative? You are, aren't you? No answer, of course. She'll never admit to her guilt. All right. I thought the printer was closer to being done than it actually was. So now I'm like, hurry up, finish. So, what's up, Tiny? What's up? What's up? Hey. Yeah? Uh-huh. What else? What else? Yeah? How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? Okay, it's finally done. Oh my gosh, it restarted. It was not done. It was just thinking, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Okay. I know the second I walk away, it's going to be done. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Hey. Okay. So, we've got 4 of these to do. I don't think we need 2 that say Merry Christmas. So we have 2, 4, 5. So we have 6. So we have to eliminate 2 of them. So I'm going to eliminate, I think this Merry Christmas, because it's the one that's most out of step. Because if you look at the others, they have this same sort of font. So these 3 all match each other. So then it's just a matter of, do we want to use all 3 of them? Or do we want to use like these 2? And the one I don't, let's see, of these 3, let's just line these 3 up together. Of these 3, which one do we need the least? So if we take this one for the Merry Christmas, so it's down to eliminating one of these 2. I think this one would be darker. And then this one has a large clock. So does that one. So I think it's probably, take that. Then maybe this. Then that. I think this one matches best, so we won't do this one. Okay. All right, so now we know which 3 we're gonna do. We just have to wait for them to get printed more properly. So we're gonna do Merry Christmas, the little girl, the black polka dot, and this mirror lake. All right, and then we'll use those to cover, what are we gonna do? We're gonna cover the outside of the pockets with it, right? So, okay. All right, well, so then we're not going to be, starting there. So we're gonna just have to let these all print. I'm just gonna switch sheets. And then what we'll do is we'll start lining the large ones, the red ones. And what I'll do is I'll kind of rough cut out the messed up sheets that we're not gonna use and paper clip or clothespin them to them, so we just know which ones are which, so we can like design around them or design with them in mind. Okay, this is like, I don't know what's up with the printer. So someone did ask me what printer I have. I have the ET 16500 from Epson, which is a wide format printer, and the ET stands for Eco Tank, which is what Epson calls their continuous ink system, which is a tank of ink that hangs off the side of the printer rather than cartridges. So it's, again, the ET as an Eco Tank 16500. This is discontinued. They don't sell it anymore. I bought mine refurbished from the Epson website. I don't know what its replacement is, if it has a replacement. And the reason that we got this one was because it was both an Eco Tank printer and a 13x19 printer, and it had an 11x17 scanner, and we did want a scanner for our some business stuff that we need it for. So that's why we had it. Hey, buddy. Hey, okay, last scritch, all right? Okay, buddy. See you later. Okay. So we know what we're going to do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just kind of So I don't have a printer right now that I'm recommending. Generally speaking, my big recommendation with printers is if you can get one with a continuous ink system, do it, because that is going to save so much money over cartridges. If you plan on printing whole collections, enough to do big albums on any kind of regular basis, that is going to be the biggest money saver in the long run, is having a continuous ink system. So either getting a printer that has a continuous ink system, or getting a printer that you can modify to have a continuous ink system, because some people do sell aftermarket continuous ink systems, is what I think is going to be your best bet, rather than any specific model. That feature, and then of course being wide format, you want it to be able to print 12 inches across at least. But I do think the ones that print 13 across are a little bit better, only because then you don't have to worry about edge to edge printing or lining, you know, that sort of thing. So you can have fewer features if you have that extra inch. But it's not that big of a deal either way, I don't think. So, okay. This one I don't need. All right, so let's see. So happy glitter day to everyone. While I cut these out, let me say hi. So hello to Bev and to Candy. How are you two? Melanie, good evening. Kathryn, Gretchen, good evening. Crafty Mama of 5 is Cheryl, and she is welcome. Have a wonderful evening. Glad to see you. And then we have Pat and Ella. Good evening. Hope everyone had a wonderful afternoon. Got a lot done in between the shows. Let's see. I said hi to Pat and Ella. Kathleen, hello. How are you doing? Yeah, her meow is very tiny, just like her. It's true. Her meow is the same size as her body. She has a same size matching. Yes, you can resize paper in Photoshop Elements. Like if you wanted to print this 8 by 8 instead of 12 by 12, that is something you could easily do in Photoshop Elements. And in fact, you could do it with, like, not individually, but you could apply that change to the whole folder with their batch processing feature. So I said I wasn't going to do this one, right? All right. So Jill, hello, and Daisy, good to see you. So, all right. I heard the printer stop, so I'm just going to swap paper again. You want another scritch? Yeah? You gonna say hi? The mic's all yours. You know? No? You don't? You don't want to say hi? All right, fine then. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yes. Good work. Okay. I'll be back when the printer stops. See, we knew she would get another scratch. Hello, Anne. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna stick these. So they're gonna be like this. And then this we're gonna cut so it's partially in and inside and partially outside, so that we can keep the design continuous. That'll be either later tonight or another day that we do that. I'm gonna do this one next. And then flip. And then with the clocks, let's do the clocks. Oh, that does sound like a big job, Anne. Hope everything went smoothly. Finish with the nutcracker. Oh, I should put on my nutcracker nails. I should put on my nutcracker nails. Should not right now. Obviously, we're doing things, but for the rest of the project, maybe. Okay. All right. So, yeah. All right. So then we can work on here. Starting here, we know we have the candle with the polka dot and then the gingerbread. So just to keep in mind, you know, what do we want to do in terms of patterns of paper and such. That's why we took the time to do a little prepping. So as we flip through, that's going to be what we're kind of keeping in mind, right? Okay. All right, so candle, gingerbread. Okay, so one thing I'm thinking that we can do is, okay, what if he's like right here on the edge, right? So he's kind of standing next to the pocket. And then we can put some of this stuff on top of the pocket. We just maybe want to find something to blend with it. Maybe these ornaments. I think these ones with the bows. This is a smaller version of what's happening here. So that'll be it. And then just maybe... Ooh. I don't know. That I like. Yeah, these two. Okay. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Printer stop printing, so I'm gonna swap that and then we'll start cutting these papers. Hey. What? Are you ready to make your next statement? Yeah? What do you think? Do you like Christmas in July? Speak into the microphone. Speak into the microphone. Do you like Christmas in July? No? Yes? If you like it, don't squeak. Okay. She likes Christmas in July. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut Santa out. We only need a little bit of Santa. I don't know. We're going to have to do some experimenting with Santa, but I'll be right back. Let me get him started. All right, so what I'm going to do, so I want to make sure that we at least see his whole face, right? So this edge of his face needs to be whatever this distance is in. And it's not, of course we're going to go a little longer because it's going to go under. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to just cut it. So I'm going to put, you know, the part of his face that I said definitely needs to be in. I'm going to put that at about, you know, it's about 1 inch in on the trimmer. Okay, so I'm going to cut, and then from the tab, okay, that's what we need to measure. That is 3, and it's really 2 7/8. It's really 2 7/8. So we're going to line him up at, I'm just going to line him up on the 3-inch mark on my trimmer. So he's, okay. I think it's going to chop his arm off. Yeah, it's going to chop his arm off, but that's okay. You know what? Actually, if I'm just going to tape this back, and then we'll just go from the edge and we'll see. Because we can always come back in. We can always come back in. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's think about this. So this whole thing needs to be 10 3/4, and then we have to make the tab. And I don't remember what my tabs were, so I'm going to have to measure. But my tab is 3.5, it looks like. Okay. So 10 3/4. Just cut off the top. Is he like birds? Look, sometimes you gotta lose your leg, you gotta lose your arm. It happens, you know. Crafting is dangerous. Very dangerous. He already lost one hand. He's gonna have no hands. No hand Santa. But, you know, Santa doesn't need hands. He can fly the sleigh just by chatting with the reindeer, you know, so it's fine, really. The elves give him a camelback of hot chocolate. It's all good. Alexa has really made the whole thing a lot easier. Yeah, we'll just say his hands are behind his back. Okay, so I'm going to punch this at 3.5. I mean, I don't think that's correct. I think I am probably going to have to bring it in, but I'd rather bring it in than have it be too far. Actually, and it looks like it's fine. So he's peeking out with one eye. So the question is that, I mean, you can't see him at all once this is closed. But we're fine with one eye Santa, right? One eye Santa's fine. He's got one eye, one hand. It's been a rough year for Santa, okay? He doesn't want to talk about it. He wishes everyone would just, you know. It adds to the mystique. It does. It does. It's mysterious Santa. Yeah, he's cute. We'll leave him this way. I probably could have done 3 5/8. So instead of 3.5. All right. So I'm just going to round the corner using my 3/8 of an inch hole punch from We Are Memory Keepers. And then we'll ink the edges and stick Santa down. And we have to be gentle because this is not really stuck down. It's a surprise Santa's still around. It really is. After everything he's been through. You'd think the guy could have some privacy, but no. Everyone wants to know. What happened to your hand, Santa? What happened to your eye? Sometimes this show gets really dark. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's the birds. It's the birds. It's the birds. It always comes back to the birds. All right. So we're just going to slide Santa in. There he is. Peekaboo Santa. All right. So now we just need to figure out. So we're going to use the blue. Okay, this is what we're going to use to make the legs. So we need like 2 inches of this. All right. And I'm going to start another sheet printing and then cut this. So for this, we just need a piece that's 10 3/4 inches long. And then just 2 inches wide. Okay. So it's a narrow strip, but it's a long strip. All right, so 10 3/4 by 2. And this is going to go down inside, but we have to split it here because there's a divider inside this pocket. Okay. So what I'm going to do is 7/8 of an inch in from this edge. Okay, so I'm going to flip it like this. And I'm going to line it up with one of the lines on my mat, and then I'm going to put the 7/8 inch line from my ruler on the same line, and that's how I'm going to know I'm 7/8 of an inch in. And there we go. And I'm going to draw a line. Now, this center piece, there's 5.5 inches on either side of it. So if we come in 5 1/4, I think that'll be the right amount. Because remember, we lost 1/8 of an inch from either side. So if I come in 5 1/4 from either side, I don't know why I got out this giant ruler. Okay, here we go. Then that should give me 1/8 of an inch, like little channel down the middle, but let's just see. I'll be able to tell by looking at it, which it is. Look at that. Okay, so now this is the side we're not cutting. This is the slightly shorter side. The slightly shorter side stays intact. It's the slightly longer side we want to cut. So I'm just going to cut up to that line. And then I'm going to pull it towards the back, this little strip, and then just twist it off. And then I'm going to dry fit this to see if it will slide over. And if not, I'll just need to widen the slit. Okay, so the slit is not quite wide enough. All right, that's fine. This really doesn't matter how wide the slit is, as long as I cut from the proper side. But you want, the reason you want to dry fit it is because you don't want to like get all the tape removed from it and then it doesn't fit. Okay. Almost. It's a little too far this way, so I've got to cut another little shred off it. So obviously measuring, I think I must not have measured properly. There we go. But again, you can see that it doesn't matter because you can't see how wide that notch is. All right. I lost the lid to this. So that's cool. I guess I don't, oh, here it is. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ink this and then put tape on in 4 places, and then we'll be all good to stick it in the pocket. Okay, so we're gonna put tape along this top edge, the 2 sides, and then just a little bit right above the notch. And that's just so once everything's in place, we can press it down so that it's not gonna ride up, show that notch. Not that it's gonna ride up anyway. This is just for the people who like to waste tape. Just kidding. Who want to make sure it's well stuck down? All right. So we got Creepy Santa. All right, go. Look how beautiful. Okay, so that's that divided pocket. I know, you'd think Tiny would want to come. She likes to play. Maybe I can lure her over with a ribbon. Ribbon is her favorite. She can't resist ribbon. I'll go swap papers and see if I can convince her to join us with a ribbon. Hey. You want to play with this? Oh, yeah? You want to play with this? What if it comes up the stairs? All right, you going to come up? Whoop, whoop. Oh. All right, come on. Good job. Oh, yeah, you're almost there. Come on. Oh, too far. Oh, she ran down the stairs. I'm just like, I give up. All right. Okay, so now that that's done, we can put this here. All right, we want to come from this side because we don't want Santa's hand. So we're going to measure our 4 1/4 inches from this edge. Because we do not want Santa's disembodied hand in our Christmas album. Okay. So then we can put that there. All right. Beautiful. She did know what I was doing. She was like, wait a minute, we're getting awfully close to work. You know how I feel about work. You know how I feel about work. Okay, so now we'll stick this down. And then I want to find something to kind of frame in these, you know. Let's see. because there are embellishments. Aren't these papers beautiful, Anne? He's that's why he's peeking out. He's looking for his hand. Oh no. Okay, so what have we got? We do have this lantern. We have a little Santa hat. We have a welcome winter. We've already used a lot of tags, so let's not use a tag. Ooh, snacks for Santa. And we have the gingerbread thing on the next page as well. I'm just putting all the embellishments together. Okay. Separating them from the scraps. All right. So we can have Santa looking for his snack. I just put a, did I just put up the sheet I cut for this? Did I lose that already? I did, didn't I? Oh, good job, Kathryn. Good job. Oh man. What? What did I do? Oh, it's so annoying. How did I lose it? I was literally just sitting here. It's not like I went anywhere. It's not in the trash. Okay. All right, let's see. Did I pick it up with the embellishments? No. So it's not with the embellishments, which is too bad because, oh, here it is. I put it with the scraps. Okay. Okay, so here on this page is like the treats and stuff. So maybe we need to make a little Santa snack tray or something. Or should we do that on the, flap? So this is what it's going to look like closed. Just going to flip through the embellishments and see if anything else jumps out at me. The one thing that I'm kind of looking at is the Santa letter. I mean, I'd have to size it down, so I'd have to do more printing, which I don't really want to do more printing right now. So yeah, I think the drink tray. Okay, so let's cut. And this time I'll keep their borders. I'm still going to ink them even with the borders. All right. Now these little reindeer are really, really super cute. What I'm going to do is before I cut out the outside of the cup, I'm going to cut the inside because it's a lot easier to cut the inside when it's still part of the whole paper than when you're trying not to rip this little handle off. Okay. What we'll probably do is mug, gingerbread mug or something like that. Normally I don't say this about summer, but I am, because I like summer and I don't mind being hot, but this summer, something about it, it feels angry. We've had like a record number of, you know, feels like 105, feels like 110. That's just like not normal for this area. But, and then the other thing that's weird is the hurricane season is doing nothing, which I'm fine with, but like it's like the press doesn't know how to handle that. So I keep getting all these articles that are like, hurricane season isn't doing anything. Should we panic? And it's like, I mean, shouldn't we panic if it is doing things? But anyway, I think I think they feel bad because they predicted a worse than usual season, and it's nada. It's doing nada. But that's okay, because the sun's just gonna burn us off, burn us off the planet instead. It's so funny because all the articles are like, the Atlantic hurricane season isn't doing anything. That's weird. Let's freak out about it. It's just like, or why don't we just wait until there's a storm and then have a normal amount of Okay, so we've got the two mugs. And I don't like the gingerbread house in between them, and I don't like the tray, but that's fine. There may be other things that we can use. Like I'm thinking, I just noticed this said Gangsta Rapper. Okay. Let's see, we've got Welcome Winter. This is my Christmas movies watching. 'Tis the season to be freezing. Rarely. I'm going to do Dear Santa, Can We Negotiate? Because, you know, I did cut off his arm, so. Oh, that explains it, Candy. Candy said that she's taking a cruise out of Port Canaveral on September 18th, so the hurricanes are just biding their time until she's on her way. It all makes sense now. Thanks for letting me know. Now I know I can just ignore at anything up until that point. But yeah, like our air conditioning cannot keep up. There is sweat pouring down every part of my body at the moment. Okay. So, Dear Santa, can we negotiate? We don't have room on the current flap for both of them. So what we can do is these two, I think, and then put them on a background bit. And I think that is actually, that's nice. So we just need a background paper. And then if we want something there, this is the cat that looks, these, Kitty's a tabby, but she's like more this color than this color. And I don't think there is a black cat. Sorry, Tiny Cat. I didn't make the paper. It's not my fault. All right, so let's think about what we want on that flap. Let me go swap papers and then we can look for what we want to use for the background. Although it may be done printing. No, load a single sheet of paper. Okay, thank you. I will do that. Okay. All right, so here we go. All right. Let's see what we're going to, this is just going to be what's under Dear Santa, can we negotiate? I might go with like this Merry Christmas or this kind of candy cane. Let's go with the candy cane. Let's go with the candy cane. Or the sparkles. Candy cane or sparkles? No, candy cane. Candy cane. Oh, yeah. Check the Halloween papers for a black cat. That's absolutely right. That's where we'll find a tiny cat. She sent me her Halloween paper, so I can check there for a tiny cat for sure. Okay, so I want the way, when you have diagonal paper, the way you change the direction of the diagonals is by turning it 90 degrees. Okay, so you don't turn it all the way over. If you turn it all the way over, then they're still going the same direction, but if you turn it 90, you can change the direction. I want them to be going this way. The question is just how big do I need it to be? And this is 6.5 by 3.5. So 6.25 by 3.25. But I'm gonna do 2 of them. All right, so let's just slide this under here and see how we like it. Okay, love it. That'll go on the inside. Are you done now? Yes, you're done. Thank you. Are you messed up again? What's wrong with you? Print me a test sheet. Okay. Oh no, that is better. That's a lot better. look how bad this is. Same paper, same printer. Same paper, same printer. So, yeah. Yeah. Same paper, same printer. Yep. All right. Okay. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna ink all 3 of these. So the cups and the 2 pink sheets, I guess that's 4, all 4 of these. With the brush corduroy, again, I'm not trying to change the color of this. I just want to get rid of any white. Okay, so when I cut my paper, it exposes the white core. That's not ideal for what I'm trying to do. It's not like the end of the world either, but I just think it looks better if that's not showing. Okay. All right, now what I'm going to do for this one is get it exactly where I want it, how I want it. And then I'm going to actually use glue on these just to help stiffen up this flap a little bit. So first I'm going to put glue just on this one edge, so I can just glue these 2 together. Okay. And then I'm going to glue them okay. I'm going to just flip it over and give it a press. And then peel it back up. Nice. Okay. I'm going to go around the edge with my tape and then tape it to my flap. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's cute. Okay. We're going to stick this one down. Do we want to put Santa's little tray there? Or is that too much? What are your thoughts? All right. Okay, I'm going to put this on the back so that we get the magnet covered up. Let me know your thoughts on the tray. Tray, yay or nay? Uh-huh. Poem. Yeah. All right. Okay, so burnish. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need anything there. You know, just because there's a circle there doesn't mean we have to use that circle to frame something. Just trying to see what we've got. Honestly, I think it's fine as is. All right, so let me stick this down and then I'll show you the two inserts for this page. So we're gonna do one you already know because I already said we were gonna do the 6.5 by 8 7/8 full wallet, photo wallet. So we are going to do that, but I want to do folder tags for the pockets themselves. So, okay. All right, so we'll do that. So I'm going to peel this. And then we'll do the inserts green because I just don't have enough red. I just don't have enough red. Not enough red. Not enough red. Not enough red. Okay. All right, so here's what we're gonna do for the inserts. So there's gonna be 2 of them. And the first one is typical. We do this all the time. And it is an 8 7/8 or 6.5 inch by 8 7/8 inch photo wallet. So let me to make it, we're going to need 3 sheets of green cardstock. That is spruce. Okay, spruce is what we're using. I can order more. 2, 4 is for what I said. I should order a maroon and a spruce. Now expediting shipping on paper, the one thing you don't want to do is be in a rush to get anything from the paper mill store. Okay. So 6.5. We need 2 sheets that are 6.5 by 8 7/8. And 2 sheets that are 7.5 by 8 7/8. But I have another week. And we have at least 2 more weeks of classes, I think. So. Okay, so I like the green. What I think the biggest problem would be if I ran out of the green. So the 2 that are 6.5, well, I don't know why I made 2 of these. It's whatever, it's fine. We have one for the next. Let me make 2 more, and let me just make all 3 of them at once. So, because there's no reason to make 2 of 3. I like the green, and I like mixing the green in. My concern would just be running out. I would hate to run out and not be able to finish the project. That's all. That's all. Plus, I won't have any maroon left if we ever needed a maroon in the future for any reason. So I'll just replenish. And usually what I do, and this is a tip for those of you that are stocking up on colors, is what I like to do is when I order, like I'm going to order a pack of the maroon and a pack of the spruce, right? And then what I do is I look at the colors that I have, because they sell 250 packs of paper. And so what I'll do is I'll look at, am I running low on any of my 250s? Because I like to have, and I've mentioned this before, but I like to have craft, dark brown, white, black. Always, okay? Craft, dark brown, white, black. I always want to have those 4 colors in quantity. And then there's a vanilla, like a natural color that I like too. The only problem is with ColorMates, because ColorMates has such a wide variety of off-whites. I haven't decided which one is going to be my off-white. Does that make sense? So I don't know which one. I mean, I bought, which one are you? You're like natural, right? Off-white. No, I bought off-white. But I think off-white is too white. So I don't know which one is going to be my off-white, my natural. Oh, what are we using for our next project? I haven't decided. I picked the papers, but I never picked the cardstock. So that's what we need to do. We need to look at the papers for the next project. And pick. All right, so the 7.5 inch pieces I'm scoring at 6.5. Okay. And then we'll fold along all the score lines and burnish. Now these are inked from another project. They're inked in gray. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm not worried about it. And Gretchen was saying that she likes green a lot for her albums. Yeah, I used the green that I use a lot, have used a lot, is hunter green from this collection. So we've definitely used hunter green several times. Green does make a very nice album base. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a line of tape along the edge of my 6.5 inch pieces, just one, along one of the long edges. Oh, the AC just kicked on. Thank goodness. I'm going to have to take a water break in just a second. But I want the inserts on this video. This may end up being just one long video, we'll see. I don't know what paper I'm going to use for the cover. And then for these on the tab, run a line as well on the 7.5 inch pieces. So now the other thing to consider is I got my sister's wedding photos. So we have wedding photos too, and I was thinking about doing wedding for the next project, perhaps. Okay, so take one 7.5 and one 6.5. Peel the tape from both of them. And then this is how I stick them together. So I slide this one down until this one is touching the score line. So see how I can still see the score line? That's what I want. I want to still be able to see the score line. Okay. All right. And the reason I want to still be able to see the score line is just so I don't crunch that score line and make it hard to open and close. So if you do this 6.5 by 8 7/8, that gives you 2 photos to go down. And they are perfectly framed with 1/8 of an inch on all sides, including in between them. So that's what this photo mat does. And it's a really good way to get a bunch of photos into a book. Because you can put 8 photos in this if you want to. Now I'm not going to. But if you wanted to, you definitely could. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, pick my very favorite favorites and have those enlarged, and then print every single photo, have every single photo printed 4x6. And then that way I can just kind of decide, you know, as I go what I want to use. So see how you have this, and then you can put 2 more on the front and 2 more on the back. You can get 8 in one of these photo wallets if you want. So it's actually very, very handy to be able to make these and stick them in a pocket. And remember, what we're making right now is our Christmas albums for this year, for Christmas 2022. So we'll be ahead will be ahead of the game. Yeah, I mean, I could make my sister an album, but if I don't put the pictures in it, it will have no pictures in it ever. So I have to do it. I have to do photos, I have to do the journaling, I have to do all of it, which is fine. You know, it's like, that's not, I don't mind it. It's just, I just know that, you know what I mean? Like, I just know, I just know that that's the only way there will be an album with photos in it. So what I need to do is actually look at how many photos I've got and try and maybe think of some kind of like Photomus Maximus album, you know? Oh no, these are verticals. Oh, okay. It's fine. It's fine. We're just going to put them in verticals. And we'll just decorate it as if we did that on purpose. Because you know what? You might have vertical photos from Christmas. This is where you put them. The photographers at your grandson's wedding took 2,000. I need to look and see how many photos. They told us we would probably end up with around 800. So hopefully that was accurate, because 800 is like a manageable number. 2,000 is not. I don't know. But they said their rate is about 100 an hour. Yeah, photos of the tree are vertical. And portraits of people holding things and mistletoeing and all of that. Plenty of vertical photos. So, okay, what I need to do then is think about how I would put 800 photos in it. I would never put 800 photos in anything. In fact, if you've taken my workshop Collection Commotion, which is about doing extremely large projects like weddings, I've never mistletoed. So probably not. I think mistletoe maybe just a Hollywood thing. Maybe I'll buy a bunch of mistletoe just to be weird. Put it around my house. Okay. So we'll do the vertical one in the middle. So this one will be horizontal, your vertical, and your horizontal. Okay. Yeah, I think one of the parts of Collection Commotion that I spent a decent chunk of time on and that I think is really important is editing. And I don't mean editing as in like, you know, color processing, that sort of thing. I mean editing as in, you probably do not need 800 photos. Just don't let the cats get it. It can poison them. Cats and Norse gods. mistletoe causing problems for thousands of years. Okay, so let's see. I am so parched. Okay. So now we need to decorate the cover of this. And I'm just trying to think of what do I want. So let's pull up the papers again. All right, so, you know, something like this could be cute. Something like this would be fine as well. And then we can put patterns like this on the back of it. I'm trying to find some of the glitter pages because I think maybe glitter might be funny. No, we're not going to do a recording break until we're done with the inserts. I'm just going to try and quickly. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this and this. No, not this, because it's so intense. The green, I don't know if I want that right next to the green, so I'm going to use the more light rainbow colored one. All right, and then we cut these to 6 1/4 by 8 5/8. So let me do that really quickly. That. And then we'll do the folding tags. All right, so there's that. And then do this. Okay. All right, so, and this will go on the front. All right, so, yeah, I want to try and get this pocket and its inserts all together. And then if we have time, what we'll probably do is a short recording on lining the green things, the green pockets, or we'll just have it all as one single video. That's just a little bit longer. We have one class from last week that was all one video as well. It just takes me longer to upload, but it's not like the end of the world, if that's what makes sense for the project flow. Okay. So the big thing is just when we do this to get them I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know what the big thing is. To get them. Oh well. You'll never know what the secret was. I don't know what it is either, though, so we're all together. We're all in the dark together. So in Florida news, oh, that would be interesting to find out, Candy, because then it should be actually sparkly like glitter, or it would be an abomination. That's probably like, it'll either be amazing or an abomination, right? There's no, there's no possibility it would be just okay. So I get a lot of Florida Python news, and I don't know if this made it, you know, beyond Florida in terms of news or whatever, but so some scientists so scientists track the movements of the Burmese pythons, you know, because they're an invasive species and they're wreaking havoc on the ecosystem and blah, 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 whatever. And not that I don't think it's important, but it doesn't really matter. So, oh, the important thing I was going to say is that we check to make sure that the photos are right side up before we stick this down, which I didn't do, but it is. So anyway, so they've tagged a bunch of the snakes and they go and check on them periodically or whatever. And they went to check on this one snake and they couldn't find it because every time they followed its tag there was a cottonmouth there instead of a Burmese python. So they took the cottonmouth back to the lab and x-rayed it, and the python was inside the cottonmouth. So that's a new development. And the cottonmouth swallowed it whole, starting at the tail. So the python was inside the cottonmouth in the same direction the cottonmouth was facing, right? Because it ate it from the tail forward. But for me, I was like, what was the Burmese python doing? Did it just sit there while a cottonmouth ate it? Like, what? How did this come about? I was like, I need to know the backstory. First of all, let's back up, because Burmese pythons are some of the largest snakes in the world. A cottonmouth is like 6 feet long. They're not that big. I mean, that's a big snake, don't get me wrong, you know, but like, I mean, and a horribly vicious bite, but it ate a whole Burmese python. Like, what is the python doing? Now, it made me wonder if the cottonmouth venom, like, affected the Burmese python, like if the python was also neutralized by the cottonmouth's venom, like, so I just don't know if cottonmouth venom works on Burmese pythons. I mean, I guess I don't know why it wouldn't. So maybe the cottonmouth poisoned it to death and then had as much time as it needed to eat it. Because the Burmese python can only damage you with its teeth. It can't actually like poison you or whatever, you know? Like, it's not a venomous snake. Now, it can mess you up because it has really sharp teeth and a really strong mouth. And, of course, it can crush you, you know, and choke you and stuff. But, yeah, a cottonmouth swallowed an entire Burmese python. Just swallowed it. That was probably the sound it made. That was like a recreation of the sound. Okay, let's talk about How? How did this travesty occur? All right. Now, here's what I want to do with these. So these are the scraps that I have left from making my other folders. And I believe, yeah. So these are 4.5 inches. Now I want to make 4.5 inch tags. I'm giving you guys nightmares. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for giving you nightmares. All right. So I'm going to make these 4.5 by 6.5, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them all to, I'm going to cut 4.5 by 7.5. I need 6 of those. Maybe they were racing and the python got in the way. The cottonmouth was like, I'm not waiting for you, Steve. All right. So I need 6 that are 4.5 by 7.5, and I need 6 that are 4.5 by 6.5. Well, that's the other thing. I was like, I don't know how cottonmouths have room in their tummies for Burmese pythons. Like, that was my whole thing. When I was reading these articles, I was like, but how? I mean, I guess if it was a really large cottonmouth and a really small python, then that could be the case. But the other thing is, if you've been following the Burmese python saga for as long as I have, because I've been following it since I lived in Miami, which was 10 years ago, one of the things about the pythons is because there's no natural predation for them, then they grow gigantic. Like, they said that they're getting just bigger and bigger and bigger, because you know, they don't have to fight. Like, they don't have to, nothing eats them here. Like, every once in a while maybe an alligator will eat one, but that's not a normal thing. 2, 4, 6, 8. In fact, the big issue is that alligators and pythons eat the same things. And so they're stealing the pythons, or excuse me, the pythons are stealing the alligators' foods. Okay, so 7.5 by 4.5. And like I said, we want 6 of them. We're just going to make them for all of them. But I can just tell you that I am more scared of a cottonmouth that can swallow a Burmese python whole than I am of a Burmese python. So that's for sure. All right, so that is 4.5 by 7.5, 6 of them. Well, and part of the issue with the Burmese python is, again, it has no natural predators here. So, you know, every single one of them is invasive, and there are bounties on them. You get money for killing them. And hunters do go into the Everglades to kill them, again, because they're destroying the ecosystem. So, unfortunately, they have to be dealt with. I think there's some international law that prohibits the use of wild python skin in clothing. And I think that if they made an exception for invasive python skin, this problem would be done in a week, because python skin is extraordinarily valuable. And if they could sell it, if they could sell their skins, I think you'd have a lot more hunters willing to clear them out. But right now they just get studied. So if you buy that, if you kill some pythons, you drop a geotag on the carcass, and then someone from the university comes by later and collects it for study. So that's how it's done now. Did they pay the Cottonmouth? Yeah. Did the Cottonmouth get the bounty? Okay, so the Cottonmouth is probably like, why am I in this lab? I have to digest this whole giant python, guys. I'm very busy for the next 6 months doing that. Okay, so these I've made, I'm going to cut down to 6.5. All right. But I just wanted to use as much of what I had as I could. So I'm going to be able to get 3 of those. Like, I get why the international law is there, because it's to keep people from going into the python's habitat where the python is supposed to be and wiping them all out and destroying those ecosystems because they killed all the pythons. But we have like the opposite problem. But anyway, yeah, that Cottonmouth, I don't know. Like, I was already more scared of Cottonmouths than of pythons. So that's not helping. That's not helping. All right, so now I just need to cut. I have 3 4.5 by 6.5 ones, so I just need 3 more 4.5 by 6.5. All right, there's a 4th one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut 2 4.5-inch strips off of whatever this size this is, and then just lengthen them with scraps. Just trying to conserve my paper a little bit. All right, so but yeah, cottonmouths, water snakes just in general, not that I go traipsing about the Everglades ever, because, you know, I like being alive. So, and I like being alive. And you don't tend to stay alive by like scampering around the Everglades. So, at least not without a guide that knows what they're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This piece will be big enough. I do think that if a Burmese python was big enough, it could probably swallow a human. I do know the largest one they've ever found is 27 feet, which is taller than a house. But yeah, cottonmouths can kill us, exactly. So, and Burmese pythons can kill us too, so. All right. Anyway. Okay, so that's one, and then last one. Okay, so there we go. We got all of our pieces. So here's what we're going to do. Easy peasy. All right. So these that are 4.5 by 7.5, and again, I have 6 of them because there's 6 that I need for the entire book. going to score them all on the 7.5 inch edge at 6.5. Okay. So anyway, on Sunday, I have the fondue party. So next week I'll be able to let you all know how that went. All right, so we're going to fold along the score lines and burnish. But like I said, Damien's parents are Swiss, and they recently went back and they're bringing back the cheese they use for fondue and having a fondue party. I don't know how big the Burmese python was that this cottonmouth ate. That is something I do not know the answer to. I do not know the answer to that. All right, so on these, I'm going to put a line of tape on one of the short sides on what I consider the back, you know. So that should be fun. I'm counting the fondue party as a cultural event because they are themselves Swiss and they are, you know, bringing the cheese from Switzerland, and they are going to show us the like authentic Swiss way of doing things. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a cultural exchange. So that'll count as a cultural event. For sure. And then one way that I think we're going to try and catch up is we're going to do like, Kitty, Kitty, you're okay. You're okay, Kitty. Kitty. No, Kitty. 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 Oh my gosh. Kitty. Oh, she's so... Kitty. Come here, Kitty. Come here. Come here. Okay. Sorry. She just, like, every once in a while, she gets lost. And she cries and cries and cries. And she is almost always walking around with one of her little soccer balls in her mouth. Kitty. Come here. Kitty, 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 kitty. Come here, Kitty. Usually she will have come up here by now, but there could be a reason she's not coming up the stairs. She does. She thinks we've abandoned her. And, oh, she's with you? Okay, good. Oh, she caught a lizard and she needed someone to show it to. And luckily Damien's awake, so he can admire her hunting prowess. She will not bring lizards up to my office. So if she's walking around because she has a lizard, then she won't come upstairs. But if she has a ball, she'll leave the ball at the bottom of the stairs and run up the stairs. Cats are so funny. I just heard the front door open, so Damien probably rescued the lizard. He tries to save the lizards when he can. All right. But yeah, she likes to show off kills. So if she, and what she'll do is she'll just kind of gently carry the lizard around in her mouth until someone comes out and looks at it and pats her and says good job, and then she lets it go, which is how I find like random lizards here, there, and everywhere. Most recently, one of them hid from her in the saran wrap box. So that was a cool find. And it doesn't have to be a person that congratulates her. If Tiny Cat comes in and looks at it, then that's also sufficient. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. What we'll do with these is we'll take the large angle punch from We Are Memory Keepers and we'll chomp this folded corner. And then that will make these tags. So they're going to be tag photomat folders. All right, so now these tags will go in the divided pockets and create space for another batch of photos. Okay. Okay, so they'll go there and there and here and here. All right, so we've got all our inserts made for the backs of the folders. So when we come back next week, what we'll be doing is we'll work on finishing up. I mean, we'll decorate these two pocket tag things, and then we'll work on what inserts are going to go in the front pockets. So we'll design the inserts for the front pockets, and then we'll also possibly be able to cover these little green folders. So we're making like we're making lots of progress on this book, actually. So it is coming right along, considering it is so large and it has so many kind of moving parts. But look how it's going to look really chunky and full, and like just kind of look how it looks already. How kind of full and cool it's going to look once it's all like done. So this is going to be quite the project. So, all right, there we go. So that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. This is going to be all just one large recording, so only one recording from the Thursday, August 25th evening show. So just 3 new recordings this week. Thank you to everyone who joined me. We got a lot accomplished. This is quite the cool project, I must say. I'm loving how it's coming together. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'll be back next week at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time And we will continue with this book. We'll finish the inserts from this particular project. Not this particular project, from this page for the back of this. So we'll finish decorating these inserts. I'm going to try and get some photo mats made between now and then, so I have plenty of photo mats for the rest of this book. But already it looks very good. So I'm very happy with how it's coming together. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay cool, stay hydrated. My goodness, it is hot out there everywhere. And I will see you next week. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Check the video description for links to the papers used and other supplies, as well as links to the stamps, access to archives, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you next week at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. Bye now.